What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, we got some breaking news out of Tampa Bay, Florida. Shout out Tampa Bay, Florida, about a story that happened around 11 o'clock last night, and it's horrific. Here it is, Father's Day, a celebration of, being a dad and stuff, and some of us didn't even make it to that time. There are two people in this story who has lost their lives, and they're both for parents, mother and father, at the hands of their own 19-year-old son, who they named as Christoph Alexander, age 19. This guy right here allegedly killed both his parents and injured a deputy in a shootout, in a standoff overnight, which just happened. Little details are known, but what they know so far, I'm going to play it to you in this video. It's unfortunate, man, on a day of all days. Take a look and we'll come back and talk about it.
Happening right now in Tampa Bay, we are tracking breaking news out of Hillsborough County. That's where 3 people are dead and a deputy is also injured. Thank you for joining us this morning. I'm Aduria Chumba. Now at this hour, we know 2 of those people who were shot dead are a mother and father. The third person, who's a suspect, who is also their son. Now this happened overnight in Tampa in the area of Cactus Wren Place. That's just near Elridge Road and Farmington Boulevard. We know 5 deputies responded to the scene. The Hillsborough County Sheriff tells us that's when the shots began ringing out. Now let's get right out to 10 Tampa Bay's Nick Volturo live at the scene right now. Nick, what do we know so far about the family involved and the status of the injured deputy?
Yeah, Aduria, good morning. And as far as the injured deputy, he's in the hospital but expected to be okay. But you can still see it's a very active scene over here on Cactus Wren Place. You can see first off as this crime scene tape is lining and blocking off the road. And if you take a look a little further out here in the distance, you can see the house. It's all cordoned off with caution tape. You can see the truck in the background with the tarp over it. This all happened around 11:15 as deputies raced to a call about a shooting. The initial caller, distressed woman, reported that her husband had been shot, but as deputies arrived, more shots were fired. Now 19-year-old Christoph Alexander turned the gun on his own mother, the woman who made the call, and then fired at the deputies. In a courageous move, 5 deputies returned fire, forcing Alexander to retreat into the house. Now, 1 deputy was shot, as we mentioned. He was taken to the hospital for injuries, but is in stable condition. Specialty units, including the SWAT team and crisis negotiation team, rushed in, where they found Christoph Alexander dead. The sheriff's office said he died from the gunshot injuries he suffered from deputies. Now, as many celebrate Father's Day, Sheriff Cronister says amidst breakfast in bed and heartfelt cards, there's a somber reality, one that just unfolded hours ago.
As we get ready and as people start to wake up this morning celebrating the Father's Day holiday with their mothers and fathers, I want to ask all of you to keep the deputies who were here this evening in their prayers. As you can imagine, being in a gunfight is extremely traumatic.
Now, we also spoke with a neighbor who knew Alexander. She actually took walks with Alexander and says she always worried about his behavior.
As a special needs mom myself, I'm pretty positive he had an intellectual disability, whether it be autism or just a mental health. There is definitely something not neurotypical about him. He was fascinated with weapons.
Now, Sheriff Cronister sent us this picture of Deputy Magoo, who's giving the thumbs up and is in good spirits. He's going into surgery at 10 a.m. to have the bullet removed from his leg. Again, right now, what we know, 3 people are dead, but the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office says this is still a very active investigation. For now, reporting live in Tampa, Nick Volturo, 10 Tampa Bay.
All right, guys, that's the sad news of what happened. 2 people lost their lives at the hands of their son. Christos, they saying Christophs. It's Christos with an S, Alexander. It says when deputies arrived, they found the alleged shooter, 19-year-old Christos Alexander, and his mother outside the house. The sheriff's office said that The suspect then shot his mother in the back of the head and fired his gun at law enforcement officers, injuring 26-year-old Deputy Shane Magoo. 5 deputies returned fire at the suspect, hitting Alexander and knocking him to the ground. However, he then crawled back inside the house and barricaded himself inside, Sheriff Chad Cronister explained. The HCSO SWAT team, crisis negotiators, and a robot arrived at the scene to help enter the home. Deputy used their robot to enter the home through the front door. Unfortunately, the first person we encountered on the floor, on the ground, was the father, the sheriff said. The father had succumbed to his injuries. The SWAT team then entered the home, finding Alexander dead from his injuries in another room. The monster we encountered this evening isn't just responsible for injuring our deputy, he's also the subject who killed his mother and father, Cronister said after the incident. According to Cronister, Alexander lived with his parents. Deputies were called to the home 10 times before the deadly shooting, mostly for mental health services and violence against his parents. You hear that? Took the father out first and took the mother out. Did you hear the other lady? She said he had a weapons fascination. She said he had some type of something was not normal with his, the way he thought, and he had some type of intellectual disability. Said the police were called multiple times. I don't know how it is to be in that type of situation, but you have a violent child that cannot control their mind, and what do? Sometimes it turns fatal, like this. I just did a story the other day about a guy that tried to kill his mom, was practicing and kill a brother, do it in their sleep. He pulled this woman outside with a gun. He had her outside in like a hostage type situation. Soon as the police came, he blasted the back of her head off. They shot him up. He went in the house and died. The influence of movies and different things like that your children are exposed to has a lot to do with it. Shapes the mentality and desires of things they want to do and people they want to be like, and their whole assessment of how the world is run and so on and so forth, whether it deals with this case or not. This is unfortunate. The day of all days, you wipe the father out, man dead on the ground, his wife out there, your own mother trying to figure out what's going on with you, and you got her outside at gunpoint in the middle of the night, neighbors and everybody can see it. Man, it's just messed up. He's gone, they gone. I don't even know what to say with this type of stuff, man, but I mean, you start to see it more and more. It's nothing for a kid or a parent to take the life of their child nowadays. It got to be some type of programs. I mean, some of you guys can hit me in the comment section if you even dealing with this type of situation where you got a violent son that got you on the seat, edge of your seat all the time, and he live in your house. How do you even deal with that? Do they have programs or places they can take these people? Because they obviously are imminent threat. It's always a constant threat of imminent danger to the people that, love this child or like are trying to be supportive of. I don't know what it is, man. It said he can't. They've been called to that house multiple times, mostly for mental health services, or I guess him having mental health breakdowns and violence against the parents. How many times you gonna put your hands on somebody? I mean, I know they understand, as parents, you're like, I remember when he was younger and maybe I can reach out to, I don't know what it is, man. But I mean, when they starting to do stuff, listen, any boy that hit his mother in front of me as the father, or just I hear about it, he got to get out the house. Now, I'm not saying, just throw him out in the street, but put him somewhere and make it be known and have it documented that this person is a danger, not just to the people in this family, but to others. Because I mean, come on, somebody like this or something like, you can't just turn this loose in the public, because it's a lot of them out here right now Story after story. Random strangers just coming up and just blasting a bunch of kids, blasting a bunch of people. I'm about to do a story on that, about something that happened out there near Detroit. Splash World. That's the next video coming up, so y'all can stay tuned to that. This is another strange case. Upsetting. You know what I'm saying? Upsetting. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Mother gone, father gone. Son shot up in a blaze of glory. I wonder if that was his true intentions. Officer in surgery right now as we speak, trying to get a bullet out of his leg. All this for what? Somebody's delusion about something else? I mean, I don't know. But I mean, come on, man. Mental illness, real, man, and it's scary out here. I'll see you in the next video. Take care, man.